I wanted to find out if it was better to live in the countryside or the city, so I interviewed members of both communities.
My name is Pam Wright.
My name is Rayla Wright.
I live in Tridell, Utah.
I live in Ogden, Utah.
I have lived there for 25 years.
I've lived in Ogden about 30 years.
I enjoy living in the country.
I do enjoy living in the city.
My favorite thing about living in the country is it's very secluded. You don't have to deal with traffic and people as often as in the city.
Probably the convenience and then the variety of things. I think there's a lot to be said about the quiet, the rural area. So I think that there are a lot of benefits living there, but in the city, you're able to have quick access to so many things. I think it's much better.
It is about 22 miles.
Less than 5 minutes, probably 2 miles maybe.
On average, my household travels to the grocery store once, sometimes twice.
We do travel to the grocery store a lot. Even though we have the online ordering and delivery, I still seem to make my way to the grocery store quite a bit, so at least once a week.
I lived in the city when I was young.
I've not lived in the country per se. We did live in Plain City, which is a suburb of, or not really a suburb, but another city to the west, and that's probably the closest that I've ever come to being in a rural environment. And what I found is that it'd take 15 or 20 minutes just to get from the house to a main road, and if you forget something and you have to turn around and go back, you've added at least another 15 minutes onto your, or 30 minutes onto your trip, which is, very challenging. So.
For many urban dwellers, the country conjures up images of clean air, fresh food, and physical activities. But these days, Americans residing in major cities live longer, healthier lives overall than their country cousins, a reversal from decades past.
I would absolutely prefer living in the country, hands down.
I would say the city. I would still like more space, and so my preference would be the city because of the convenience and just the options that you have available. But having that space a little bit to yourself and the quiet, having neighbors 8 feet from you on one side and 8 feet from the other, those are the cons to being in the city. So I do appreciate the quiet and having kind of your own space in a rural environment. But I guess I would choose the city, but maybe a little bigger area.
I do the same household chores as someone in the city as far as dishes, cleaning, things like that. However, outside I do gardening, more lawn mowing. We also have animals to feed, such as horses and goats and chickens and ducks, and I gather eggs.
Everything. In terms of chores, I really take care of everything from yard work to cleaning the house, and really more of a single family home, and so I manage everything.
Well, once again, the whole outdoors, nature is a recreational activity. You can go sledding, hiking, tubing down the canal, swimming in the pond, so many recreational activities. If you're talking more organized, we do have sports groups. We have a rec center that is in the town that's about 25 miles away from us.
Recreational activities, there are so many choices here in the city, and actually where we're at, we're just like 5 minutes from the canyon. So you can go skiing, you can go hiking. There are parks within, just a very short distance, a few blocks over, big park and a walking trail. So I think that you've got so many options that you can choose from.
It depends on your denomination. We do have one LDS church within 20-25 miles. Oh, we have two within 20 or 25 miles. We do not have any other choices within the radius.
There are quite a few churches very close to our area, and quite a few denominations in terms of church offerings.
Throughout my life, I have had dogs, cats, horses as pets. We've also had a pig as a pet. We've had ducks, chickens, goats.
For me, I've always had pets, and when I was young, I had a bunny and a duck and a dog, and then really for the most part, dogs have been the biggest pet.
Around our area, we have two places to shop. One is a convenience store. You can buy gas at that convenience store, and that's about 5 miles away. We have a little country store about 7 miles away. It does sell basically the same thing as the convenience store, breads and pizzas that you take home and bake. They have a pop machine, things like that. They do also have a bunch of homemade items that you can purchase, and they do sell vegetables, fresh vegetables and fruit that are grown in the area. We have several clothing stores, but they're 25 miles away. We do have like Walmart and Maurice's, Rue 21, etc., but they are about 25 miles away.
Pretty much everything. You got grocery stores, convenience stores, malls, any place that you want to go, any name brand store, you can generally find very close.
Within our area, we have 2 elementary schools that are within 12 miles or so. And then in the city of Vernal, which it has 3 different elementary schools, and it's once again 25 miles away. We have 2 junior high schools in Vernal and 1 high school in Vernal. After high school, you do have some opportunities. We have a Uinta Basin branch of the Utah State University, which they have one in Vernal, which is about 25 miles away, and Roosevelt about 20 miles away. They have a UB technical school in both of those towns as well.
Also a lot of choices from a variety of elementary schools. If you've got young kids in the city, we've got charter schools, we've got public schools, so you can you can choose where you want to send your child to school. As they get older, those options continue, because you can go through charter schools from elementary to junior high to high school, so you've got quite a few options there. And then in terms of higher education, there are a lot of different choices, from Weber as a university to the ATC, other technical type colleges that are around. So I think you can really run the gamut on what you can do educationally.
Exposures to environmental pollution remain a major source of health risks throughout the world.
For medical care, we do have some choices, but our main 2 choices are either Uinta Basin Medical Center in Roosevelt or the Ashley Valley Hospital in Vernal. If you need a specialist, more specialized doctors, we usually tend to travel to Salt Lake to get medical care.
In terms of medical care, we have there's a lot of close clinics, and there are 2 major hospitals in the area. I think healthcare is such a difficult subject across the board, no matter if you're living in a small area or a big area. If you don't have insurance, your options are so much more limited, no matter where your location is. But if you have insurance, yes, there are lots of different locations that you can go to get cared for. In fact, from our home, not even a mile, you can go right into a clinic. It's across the street, basically. So very convenient. Specialties, I think it depends on what kind of specialty you need. So, there's strong doctors at both major hospitals, but there are definitely specialists that are located in Salt Lake, at the U, and so I think it depends on what you need, but there are definitely, strong doctor choices here for specialties.
Evidence-based research that can help us identify the healthiest environment to live in is surprisingly scant. As scientists begin to tease apart the links between well-being and the environment, they are finding that many nuances contribute to and detract from the benefits offered by a certain environment, whether it be a metropolis of millions or a deserted beach. Overall, it is still unsure whether it is healthier to live in the city or country. However, the determination of which is better overall is really up to the person rather than a society.